Hello, I am back again with something different this time. I have a piece of wood that I drew a little beetle on off camera, mostly because it would have taken a lot longer if I had just drawn this while trying to have all my stuff situated. And I'm going to be using these watercolors that I got recently for my birthday to paint it. Hopefully they will work, because I know water, you can see there's grain on the wood and sometimes they bleed through, but I'm hoping that that will work fine enough. And while I do that, I'm just going to be talking about myself a little bit, because I know my last sketchbook tour got some good views on it and the people in the comments were very nice, and so I thought that I would introduce myself a bit while we do this. And then for supplies, I have these watercolors. They're really cool because they can they slide out. I think I saw this on like an Instagram or something, advertisement for it, and I was using it in my sketchbook, and the colors and pigments are really nice. And then I just have a little cup of water. This is actually a yogurt container that is glass, and I just put water in it for that. I have some miscellaneous brushes and then some white gouache. And I don't know that I'll finish this in time. I'll definitely have a little clip at the end of the finished product, but I'm just probably gonna start on it and then show the ending result. Alright, so I think I'm gonna start with some greens here. You probably won't be able to see me watercoloring off camera because there isn't gonna be space on here to see. But yeah. So my name is Take a Note on here, at least, or at least Takeo or whatever. That name originally comes from someone that I met on the little website of Scratch. And if you've ever heard of that website, you're a real one, because that's where a lot of my mutuals come from. And which I care for them deeply. They are so nice. I love that I have a little community that was formed on that website. And I started that back in, I think, 2019 was when I originally made an account. So quite a while ago. And yeah, I can see this is bleeding a little bit, so I'm gonna have to be careful with this coloring. But I had like a tight little community started on there, mostly because of COVID. I think a lot of people my age, and if you didn't know, Scratch is like a little coding website, like mainly schools use it, I think. And I found it through my school because you can pirate music on there. And so in like 6th grade, me and my friends would just listen to music on there because there wasn't really any other way to do so outside of like finding YouTube videos or something. And I think our YouTube was blocked. I'm not entirely sure. But that was how we like started getting into it. And because I was interested in art, there was a large art community on there. And so I decided to make an account in like 2019 and just see what would happen. And the people on there were super kind and encouraging. And over time, I slowly grew in some followers and stuff. And it just really motivated me to do art and to just find and like see how I could connect with people through that, which was just further like encouragement to improve. And so that really motivated me to like get into art and get into like the online space of art, just because of that connection with people. Because I grew up like not having a whole lot of friends or like having that closer feeling with those friends. I can hear my dog in the background. She's all concerned about the cars driving past. But that really helped like make me feel like I was having a positive impact on people, because I always wanted to like be that type of person who could be like a role model or just someone who could help others. And it made me feel like I was achieving something. And so I grew on there, and I eventually, like, I think only recently, like in the past 3 years, I got an Instagram. And then some of my art mutuals from Scratch also have an Instagram, and so I was kind of able to still keep somewhat of that same community. Instagram just much harder to form like that community sense. I think just whatever business model. It doesn't really fit artists very well, and I know a lot of other artists kind of understand that to some degree. So I've been struggling on there, but if this YouTube thing is reaching more people, I will probably switch over to making more long form content, just because I don't know, I enjoy it a lot better because I get to just talk and see people talk to me, and it just, I feel like it's more connecting with people. I don't know. I might just be talking nonsense right now. But back to me, because that was a small tangent. I recently this year got diagnosed with autism. I have the tisms, which that has been a very like positive thing and also negative. So this happened back in maybe February, I think. And I was just really curious because my best friend got diagnosed years ago when she was a lot younger. And so I've had like that type of model set, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I know someone who's been through those similar struggles. And for years I was like, oh, it's just because I'm like hypersensitive that I can understand her feelings. And oh, it's just da-da-da-da-da, making up almost like excuses for why something like this can't happen or be who I am. And eventually it just kind of came to like a breaking point where my mental health and all of that, I just wanted to have an answer for why I felt the way that I did. And so I got diagnosed, and that's been that has been a good thing for me, because now I have like a reason for why I feel the way that I do, and I'm not crazy. But that's also come with struggles, because then I'm more aware of all of the stuff that's going on in my life and how that is affecting me. And so that can be quite a struggle. But that's a main part of like why I do what I do, is because I want to have people feel like they can be comfortable and safe within themselves and within like a community that I create. And I don't know, I care about that. I care about reaching people and connecting with them and making a positive environment for people. It's also like the main reason why I do art, is to like process my emotions and deal with difficult things. It helps me calm down and process things. And so that's kind of like my motivation. Like, I would love to be an art teacher or do something like that. Because to me, that's the whole point. That's why we do art, is like that's how we communicate with people. Long tangent. I like to talk. You might have noticed in like my sketchbook tours, but I love talking about myself, about other things that I deal with, things that I know other people deal with, not in like a narcissistic way, but just because I find it so interesting. And I also like, I'm a strong believer that like, when you are more open with yourself, it helps other people be more open to you and with others. And so like that can really sometimes help other people, is to set that good example of being like, hey, I'm dealing with this, and I understand what you maybe are going through and things like that. And so I'm that type of person. I'm pretty chill like that. But yeah, some other things about me. I'm very introverted. Not in the sense of like I'm shy, like I'm very much not shy, but I can and will just like be alone for a long time, and that's like perfectly fine with me. Like most days, if I'm going to school and I get home, I'm like going to my room, and then I will come out and like catch up with my family, and we'll eat dinner together and do all of that stuff. But I'm like, that's all I'm doing. Then I'm going to bed. And so like it takes a lot out of me. I think it's just because of also having the tisms, and also like an anxiety disorder and all of that stuff, all the fun things. I need alone time. And the reason why I bring this up is because I've been sick for the past month with something. We're not exactly sure what. It's some type of like, I probably had a virus in my digestive tract, and it just has messed me up great. And so I have not been going to school for the past month. I still been doing all of my work and stuff like that, but I've just been stuck in my room at home. I can't really even go in a car because I get motion sickness, like literally 15 minutes into the ride. Like I had a small victory the other day because I went to get my hair cut and I was gonna drive myself, but then like on the way there I started getting sick and I was like, "Mother, please drive me." So my poor mother had to. She didn't care, but I wanted to drive, but because I thought that would make it feel better, but it didn't, so oh well. So I'm just having to wait that out. I did see a GI, gastro something or other specialist, and they're like, "Yup, just wait." And I'm like, "Great, but I have to go to school." I'm actually doing this instead of going to school today because it's the last day before we have our winter break, and I'd rather paint at home and not throw up at school, so that's great. But I've been mostly dealing with like nausea and stuff, which hasn't been fun. I do not recommend. It sucks even more because earlier this year I got pneumonia, and I was sick for like a solid 4 months or something like that. Because pneumonia, you can recover from pneumonia fast, but like the symptoms last longer. So this is that, but in my gut. Like sometimes like late at night, if I'm laying on my bed for too long, I'll still get like wheezing in my breathing because of that. And that can take like a year. So I've been going through it this year, man. Can't catch a break. So it's okay. But that's really taught me how to kind of deal with change and having the lack of control. I was talking to my hairdresser about this, is that like sometimes things are out of your control and there's not much that you can do to stay in control, and that's just how it is. And like no one's blaming you for not doing things. No one's faulting you for that, even though your head may tell you like, oh, everyone's gonna hate you or they're gonna be disappointed, things like that. Because that's how I was feeling at the start, because I felt so bad that I was missing school and I couldn't get certain assignments done. And like at the end of the day, there's literally nothing I can do. Like I can request to have makeup assignments, I can do literally everything else, but just because I can't be there in person, that's not my fault. Because like I need a rest, I need to give my body that grace. And so that's kind of the lesson that I've had to learn recently, is that there are things in the world that are out of your control, and you just kind of sometimes have to make the best of it and realize that it's not your fault. And it's like no one's fault. That's just how it is sometimes. And that's especially hard, especially if you're like some type of neurodivergent, where you have a hard time dealing with that change. And that can just be difficult to deal with. And so I've had to kind of learn that the hard way by literally laying in my bed for weeks at a time suffering. But it's okay. I'm slowly getting better. It's just taking time. So I have to take it kind of day by day, slow myself down, be more aware of like my body, which is again difficult because if you're neurodivergent, you have a hard time kind of having that, I forget what it's called, like introspection or something. It's like the other sense that you can have, where you're aware of your body. Like I have a very hard time being aware of my body and like where's the pain happening, where is this sensation. That stuff is difficult for me, and I think that's just because that's how my brain works. And so I've kind of had to be more aware of that, which is stressful because I'm also a hypochondriac, and so thinking about where this illness is kind of freaks me out at times. And so kind of facing all of this right when I'm getting older, going through this big transition, because I just turned 18, so like having this big transition happen in my life, and then having to realize that I can't do the normal things that I thought I was going to do at this age. Like my younger self would have been like, wow, you're so old now. And you're so capable, and it's like, no, like yes, but also at the same time, like it's still sometimes a little bit scary. It's still like I still have challenging days. Like I thought when I was like 14 or like just a tween, being like, wow, when I'm getting older, I'm gonna be so capable and so great at everything, and I'm gonna know what to do. And it's like, I still need my parents. I still need adults to tell me what to do sometimes, and I still need to take advice. And that's just something that I didn't think was gonna happen. I thought that, I guess, a little bit naive, but like, I thought that it would just transition over and I'd be ready. And it's like, yes and no at the same time. It's a long process, and that can be frustrating. And at least for me, it's like I don't like not knowing things. I don't like not knowing the answer to things. And so being in that area right now where like I don't know what's next, I don't know what I'm gonna do or how everything is gonna be, can be a little bit daunting. And that's just how it is. That is the process. That is how life goes sometimes. And so I've kind of had to accept that about myself and where I'm at in my life right now. And I know things can only like get better from here, but it's the idea that things are gonna change, even if it's change for the better, that is sometimes a little bit unnerving. So I don't know, there's some food for thought, kind of deep. I'm very much of a deep talker person, so like this is the average day in my life, is just thinking about existential crises and stuff. So that's all nice. But I think I'm pretty much done with this beetle here. You can see there's some bleeding going on, but I think it'll be a cool effect. And I'm probably gonna go over it with like colored pencils afterward and kind of fix some of these inconsistencies. So I think I'm gonna work on the border next with like different colors. But yeah, I also kind of consider myself a little bit of like a jack of all trades, which isn't helpful when you have mental illness, because I know too much. I know too much about things, and when you know too much, it is concerning, because then you know what you don't know, which I guess is like not horrible, but that also is not great. Like when I was growing up, I watched a ton of documentaries. I was a nerd. I think it was probably what you'd consider like a special interest, except I didn't know that at the time. And I watched a lot of like Nova, a lot of National Geographic, Cosmos with like Neil deGrasse Tyson, all of the space ones. I love space. Also did not aid in existential crises, because he'll say like, oh, did you know the sun is gonna explode in like 4.2 billion years? And I'm like, oh, the sun is gonna explode in 4.2 billion years. You're not alive then. I'm not gonna be alive then. But like my little brain is like, oh no, the world is ending. And so to like a 7-year-old, because I was watching these when I was young, so that's not great. But I like that. I like those shows. I watched also a lot of like Mythbusters. I kind of want to rewatch that. So anyways, but those shows really, I think, formed my sense of self and like what I thought was information and good information. Like, I don't know, I do think it was really helpful to me growing up, but it did isolate myself a bit more, because like the things that I was interested in was not like I mean, I did still watch stuff, but like I was not as interested in it. So like all of like My Little Pony and that stuff, I did watch those things, but it was not what was at the forefront of my mind. The forefront of my mind was like Isaac Newton's laws of physics, like that stuff, as like a young child. And so I don't know, I was a big nerd, and that isolated me a lot as a kid, and also kind of made me draw and do art and find other like creative outlets, just because that's what I did instead of hanging out with people. Like I would make things out of Play-Doh, all of those things. It was fun, but you know, childhood. And then it didn't change until I got into high school, which was after COVID, because I was a COVID kid, like 6th to 7th grade, pretty much. And after that, like all of the other kids kind of caught up to the weirdness that I was, I guess, which was during kind of like high school age, because then all of them have to take those physics and chemistry and all of those classes. Like, I knew what quantum physics were in elementary school, and then we had a unit on it in my chem class sophomore year, and I'm like, I already know all of this stuff. I know what they're talking about, because I'm a huge nerd. And I say that in a good way, not in a bad way. But I just, it's funny. And so that was my kind of life as a child, and it really did shape the person who I am now. Like, I love all of those. I love learning, and I love experiencing new things and talking to people about the things that I like and hoping that they get it in the same way that I do. Except now, instead of like actual learning productive stuff, it's like shipping. It's like shipping characters or like reading anime or something like that. Like, I still read a ton, but it's like all yay. And I also find that funny. I'm like, the pipeline, no. And so that's been fun about me. Hopefully this isn't too boring. I feel like I yap a lot. And I know, like, some of my friends, like, we will just talk for hours. Like, that is what we do. There's no, like, watching movies. I mean, sometimes, like, with my best friend, we'll, like, watch or play Stardew Valley or something like that together. But a lot of the times, it's also just, like, talking for 6 hours straight. Which I could do, and I have done, and my voice does get tired, but that is just who I am. But maybe that's good for YouTube. I don't know. Do you guys like to listen to me yap about a bunch of random stuff and how I'm feeling and emotions and whatnots? And I will say, I am very open about my mental health and all of that stuff, just because I'm like, why wouldn't I be? Like, I don't know. I never went through that, like, embarrassing, or I was never embarrassed to share my feelings. It was more so just like a masking thing where it's like, oh, I don't want to talk about myself because maybe then I'm selfish. But I found that talking about what I'm going through and finding other people who maybe feel the same way, it really, like, helps me and them. And so that, I think, is like a positive thing. Like, you can't be a positive person if you keep all of that inside, because it has nowhere to go, so you have to let it out. That's what, like, bottling up your feelings are and stuff. And, like, I kind of live by the mantra of, like, you can only be positive to other people if you are positive to yourself first, because there's nowhere, like, where is that positivity coming from? If it's not coming from yourself, it's just taking away from somewhere else. And so if you're not at first, like, caring over yourself and taking care of your mental health, how can you deal with other people's? And so that's just kind of something that I've thought about a long time, or for a long time, was just like, how can I have a positive impact on other people without it being draining on me? And the way for me is being more open about myself, like talking about the things I struggle with, not keeping things inside, that type of stuff. And so, I don't know, I always try to be like that type of person who can be a voice for maybe some people who can't share that voice. And I thought about being a therapist for a while. And I realized that is not necessarily the path I want to take. So now I'm thinking about becoming an art teacher. Like, I think that would be very fulfilling and kind of match my mindset. It just depends on where I end up. Like, I'm planning to go to college for art, and if after I get that degree, if I think I still want to do teaching, then I'll do that. If I end up, like, doing online stuff, like being a freelancer or working for a company, I'll do that. I don't know. I'm going to see where I end up. Luckily, I have, like, a supportive family who who does have the means to support me on that, which I am grateful for, because they did not have that when growing up. Like, my parents had to pay for their college and support themselves and all of that stuff, and I respect them for that. I don't know, I'm gonna see where the journey takes me. I guess. Which is kind of funny to say because as a person with anxiety, like you'd think that that wouldn't be something that I'd be okay with, like thinking about. But surprisingly, like it's not. I don't know. This is art for me is a place to free myself. It's not like a shackle, and so having freedom with my art and the decisions that I make surrounding it, like doesn't feel like it's constricting me in any way. Like I'm fine to follow the path that it takes me, I guess. I sound very much like a hippie right now, which to be fair, I kind of am. So like, I don't know. I'm gonna add some orange and reds to this, and I think I will be done for now, and then I'll show the final ending. But yeah, so to kind of conclude, I yapped for a long time. I hope you don't, like, obviously, I hope people don't relate, because I don't want anyone to be going through things that I've gone through and stuff like that. But like, if you do, just know there are other people out there who understand those types of feelings, and there's like a place for you somewhere. And I don't know, I am always like, I try very hard to be a positive thinker, like I said. So like, things will work out. Like I think things will work out. It will be fine. Just like this bug. This bug is perfectly fine in this wood. I don't know what that means, but yeah. I like this red. This red looks good. If you ever question like your color choice, always stick to like the opposite colors on a color wheel. So like the opposite to green is red. So like you can kind of figure out that based on that, and like the opposite to blue is orange. Like I love working with blues and oranges because they just look so good to each other. And so that kind of helps me figure out, at least with color pieces, like what vibe I should be staying to, or what general range of colors I should stick around. And I don't know, green and purple also always look really good together. I don't know if that's like some of the tri-color wheel. I don't know. There's some specific like actual proper like art terms for these things. I just kind of figured it out on my own at some point. Like I have taken art classes over the years that my high school provides, but a lot of this stuff is just stuff I already kind of figured out, and then they just give you words to describe it. And then the rest is just like, do this assignment. Like I know I took an art 2 class because I skipped art 1 in freshman year. And in that class, I would just finish all the assignments super early because they weren't like very difficult for me. And then the teacher would just either assign me the same assignment a second time, or he would just have me do random stuff. So I kind of just had got a whole bunch of free time to mess around and do whatever in that class. And then I didn't take another art class until this year when I took AP art, because my electives didn't line up and I had to take 2 years of language instead of having space for like a different elective, which was still fine, but I missed having like a class dedicated to art. So I'm in an AP art class this year, and that's been fun. It's more loose because you just have to make like 15 pieces before the end of the year, and they have to follow a theme. So my theme is decomposing. And so I've been getting into like bugs and plants and whatnot. Like one of the pieces I just did was I had a bunch of pressed flowers that I just have collected over the past like maybe 2 years or so, and I made a face out of them because I just thought that would be cool. And so I don't know, it's just, that's what I've been kind of working on in art-wise. And then I have another sketchbook that is taking me a lot longer because there's a lot more pages in it than my previous ones. I know someone asked me what sketchbook I use. The gray ones, which have been, I think most of the ones that I've had sketchbook tours with so far, those are all ILO sketchbooks. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's ILLO. And those ones are really nice for like markers specifically because the paper is smooth and very thick, so you don't get a whole lot of like bleed through with them. But like painting doesn't really work because the paper doesn't take a whole lot of paint. And then pencil sketches are a little bit more difficult sometimes just because it's smooth and so your pencil doesn't grip and will smudge a bit, but like it's not a huge deal. Like you can kind of brute force a lot of materials on random pieces of paper. Like I know when I was starting out, I was using crappy sketchbooks, but like if you put enough like paint layers on it, it will eventually work. So I don't know. It's up to you though if you think that that's worth your money, depending on what mediums you like to use. And then my current sketchbook, I think is just like an Artex one or whatever. It's just one I got from Michaels. It's not like, I think it's probably primarily for like sketchbook, or not sketchbook, like pencil things, because the paper is a little more textured with it and it just works better that way. But yeah, so I don't know. I kind of swap around with my sketchbooks just because I don't particularly, like I'm not loyal to one, because after a while I get tired of the paper and I'm like, I can't do the things that I want to do in it. So then I try to find a different one that maybe is better suited. So I haven't committed to one yet. I got commitment issues with my sketchbooks. And so I've just been using that one primarily. And then yeah, so but that one's been taking me a lot longer, just because I don't know, it's different paper that I'm not quite as used to, and there's a lot more pages, and being sick has really like stunted that too, because I just haven't, even though I've had a lot of time to myself, I've mainly just been spending like laying in my bed being tired and being like, oh, I'm so sick, because I've primarily just been like nauseous, which isn't a great feeling, especially when you've been nauseous for like a month straight. And there's not really like a whole lot you can do about that, because if it's your gut, you just gotta let it heal and like take probiotics, which I have been doing. So that's been all fun. That's been fun. If you have any like more questions for me or whatever, you can put them in the comments. I know I asked to have questions on my Instagram, and then I got impatient and just wanted to film this already. So that's why I'm talking about myself instead. And so, but you can ask them there and I'll answer them. Or I might like make a Q&A video or something like that. But I'll probably answer them in the comments because like I said, I'm kind of impatient and it takes forever to upload these things because my phone has like not very much storage in it. I kind of need to figure out another way to transfer these. Like currently I'm using CapCut. So if anyone has a better like video editor thing that you can use, let me know, because I don't have anything else or that I know how to use. And also like I don't know that I want to use like a professional one because I am not smart enough to use those programs. I'm kind of a boomer when it comes to technology. And so, do you hear that bird? Oh my gosh, it's just like squawking so much. Bro does not know I'm trying to film a video. It's fine. I like birds. But yeah, so that's been fun. I'm almost done with this. I have a few little squares to fill up here, like this heart that kind of looks like a heart, and then right there. But yeah, so ask me things. I love talking to people in the comments and doing things like that. And the community, or like the people in here, are so nice. Like I feel like it made me regret not doing this sooner because on my Instagram, I feel like I try so hard with Instagram and then like I get nothing at all. And to be fair, like I don't think Instagram really like cares about artists or creatives in that way. And it's all like, to me it feels super like content heavy. Like you have to have a catchy thing, you have to like follow this trend and do that and that, and I can't just chill here. Like I don't like listening to algorithms and doing what that wants. Like I just want to make my art and have people tell me it's cool or like have people inspire people and do things like that. Like I want to post the things that I like. And right now on the internet, the things that I like are not what other people like, or at least what other people on Instagram like. And so that's been difficult for me because I'm like, I want to connect with people. Why can't you let me? And then even if one reel does good, the like next one flops horribly. And so I'm like, I can't have a consistent audience and I can't have a community. And it just feels like the people who follow me on there that aren't like my mutuals don't like, no one ever interacts with you, and it's kind of like disheartening. I don't know. I don't want to come off as like being like a content person, being like, I want likes, and like that's not my goal. My goal is like to connect with people and communicate, and that just is very difficult. So anyways, I think I'm done with this for now. It's been 35 minutes, so my poor phone's storage is gonna suck, but like this is what I have so far. I think I'll film a little bit after I go in and it dries with some like colored pencils to maybe sharpen up some of the places where it bled and also some of the designs. So this has been fun. I hope you have enjoyed my rambling. Hopefully it's not too weird, but like, yeah. So if you like this, I have sketchbook tour videos, some of which are better quality than others because I know I filmed a few of those when I was also sick, but like with a cold or something. I don't know. I have those. I also have an Instagram that's on my profile. I post a lot of digital art there, so if you prefer digital art, you can look at that there. This is probably going to be more of like a traditional art channel just because that's what I prefer. So, yay! Goodbye. So here's the finished product, I guess. I used this pen and some color pencils to kind of enhance some of those details, make the lines darker. I think it's cool. I'm gonna probably like put it up on my wall or something. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video and my little bug.